We somehow all ended up back in the kitchen, eating leftover pizza from the night before. I like how often somehow is the explanation of getting back to the kitchen. For a second there, I just panicked and thought I loaded, like I didn't save or something. This was from yesterday, because that's when the routes rejoined, that's what it said. But then it said leftover pizza. I'm like, okay, so this is after the movie. It's just, we're continually confounded by how we're getting back in a kitchen. Pizza's still good. Of course it's good. I made it. Guess you do have your uses after all.
Who do you think has been making breakfast?
Benson, right?
No, he died 4 days ago.
I mean.
Orlando, obviously. Yeah, I don't think Benson's had much to do at all, really. Orlando's been doing most, if not all, the meals you've eaten, Tyson.
So, can he actually cook or not? Benson, I mean.
You'd have to think so, right? Means Orlando could take a break. I don't know if this is a break. I feel like Orlando doesn't have much to do most of the time.
No one has much to do most of the time.
I mean more along the lines of like, if these are the first guests this place has had in a while, like, isn't this his first opportunity to work? And like, he's been off for like 5 days now. That's not a break. That's a vacation.
Well, they're saying Orlando could take a break is what they're saying. Not Benson.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, you're right. I thought that said Benson. I was like, how in the world?
You were wrong in front of everyone. How could you?
Oh no. Restart the episode. Rewind.
Hey, I'm here, you know, and I like cooking.
Yeah, we know. Just don't want you overdoing it.
We should have this conversation twice a day for the rest of the month. When we'd eaten our fill, we each started to branch off for the afternoon. But as I was wrapping up, I noticed Sal was lingering awkwardly by the door. Sal? What's up?
Thanks for this morning.
Oh, no problem, Sal. It was fun?
Are you doing anything now? I need your help looking for something.
Oh, sure. What have you lost?
Not lost, just haven't found it yet.
Love.
It would be nice to have the company if you were free.
Sure. I'm not doing anything.
All right. Follow me.
Sal didn't say where we were going to look, instead just pottering along with me in tow. Eventually we ended up in the museum, Sal taking one step inside before yawning aggressively. So yawning aggressively is when you just yawn directly in someone's face, like a passive-aggressive smoker. Whoa, tired much?
I haven't been sleeping well. Started a couple nights after arriving, I think.
Okay, so it is like a combined sleeping problem.
Yeah, I guess so. Wanted to know if I could find something in here relating to...
Crocodiles take melatonin. Relating to what?
Something from my dreams. Nightmares, really.
There's a clown Fortnite dancing in hell, and I don't know what to make of it.
Oh no. Pennywise the Fortnite playing clown. So, anything I can find relating to... what was it?
Are we looking for a name? Or maybe an item?
It was, Hypnos, I think. Uwu?
Ooh.
Ooh woo, hypnocroc, ooh woo.
Hypnocroc lures you into the water, death rolls you.
The death roll is the spiral that hypnotizes you.
No, he just sits there on the surface and his eyes just start doing the spinnies, and then you just get lured in. Average haps drawing, not mash.
That's fun.
The term wasn't familiar in the slightest, unless he was trying to tell me about hypnosis. I was drawing a blank.
Oh, so Dave is familiar with hypnosis, huh? Is that what he's saying? He's well acquainted.
Oh yeah, big fan of hypnosis. Hypnosis?
No. Hypnos. I think I heard maybe Orlando say it before when he was playing a game once. Maybe it was Roswell. Still, anything on it might be good.
Wait, hold on. We have smartphones. Do we?
I don't know.
I can't remember if we established what time era this takes place in. So, like, my default is now, but I don't know if that's true.
I think they mentioned phones at one point. Maybe I'm making that up. I feel like it was right when they got off the bus, but I don't remember what the context was.
Yeah. I'm trying to... Wait, hold on.
What?
How are we going to start searching for information when we don't know anything about it?
I haven't seen a computer to check the internet.
The internet does exist, or at least that recent, and anime is around, which is actually a relatively recent occurrence, like as far as the importing goes. We can slowly close in the maximum and minimum possible values here to relearn something we probably already knew but haven't had to think about for a while.
It's at least the 90s.
Okay, what about your phone?
Who would I be calling?
Sal. Wait, you can't look up stuff on your phone?
There you go. There's your answer.
No, it's just an old phone. Upgrading is expensive.
Okay, so
it's not really. That's kind of the point of upgrading, is that your phone company lets you opt into a new phone, and granted, you're paying for it basically with your monthly fee, but
yeah,
it's not really that expensive just to get a slightly newer phone. You just don't buy the flagship stuff.
Sal's just such a Luddite that he's making me question the timeline of the entire game.
Luddite?
Is that not the right word? Did I fuck up?
Luddite is what you're thinking of. But Luddite is funnier.
Narrative dissonance.
where he's a Luddite because he's, get it? Because he's lewd.
Listen, my entire vocabulary is read only. Read only. Read only. It's only from reading. I got it because I read. Yes. Not read only, because that's a file. That means I can't. That means I can't update it. I had a traumatic brain injury. I can never update my vocabulary from this point on. I just have to mash existing words together like a German. Wait, who brought anime to the States if there's no furries?
The fleshies.
Why do I ask questions I don't want the answers to?
They really like their 80s shoujo waifus. Urusei Yatsura is really exotic for them, so...
For those that don't know, the furry fandom's nascent stages were very instrumental in the importing and showing of Japanese of anime here in the United States, and growing a fandom around that and turning the bootleg stuff to getting it to a popular enough place that it actually became like a real legitimate market eventually for actually bringing it here. So if you like anime, I guess I don't have to convince anyone here that to like anime and furries, because that's the premise. But now you know. Okay, well, let me go get mine, and I can pull up something for you.
Alright, sorry. Should I wait here?
These guys are such good boys. Look at them, look at Dean, Dave, damn it. There's 2 4-letter D names. With 3 of the 4 same letters. Look at Dave leaving his phone in his room all day and just like experiencing, can't really say nature, but he's just vibing in this mansion for a month without his phone. Like he's not carrying it around constantly. Sure. I won't be long. Be right back. So I jogged to my room, retrieved my phone, and wandered back to the museum. Hey, Sal? I'm back? I'm trained by other games, but I'm just expecting him us to just come back, and he's just been skewered to death by the night in the room. And then this is just a thing we have to solve now, and we have to go find a different timeline to figure out who killed Sal, and so on. Like, that's exactly the kind of...
Go on.
That's just the exact kind of logistical movements that inform the plot and alibis and murders of, like, every timeline of, like, Zero Escape.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
I spun around, and Sal entered the museum behind me. Wait,
it's
where did
so
you go?
weird that this is called a museum. This is something I've been thinking about since the beginning, but, like, shouldn't it just be, like, a library? Like, a library can have artifacts in it.
Yeah, because art libraries just have stuff in them sometimes, because there's stuff that's worth keeping that isn't necessarily museum-y. But I can see why people would just call it a museum if they just saw a bunch of weird artifacts and glass and so on. Because the text calls more attention to the stuff in this room that's not the books compared to the photo, which exclusively shows us like books and maybe some maps or whatever's on those plaques. So we don't get a good sense of what's in this room from the photos, but yeah. I feel like the photo suggests that this room's also not very large because of the way that the walls are curved for all the walls that the library books are on. Kind of feels like that means this is like sort of like an end point of like some kind of interior of a castle. And so like it feels like it's like an almost circular room, and then there's just a door to leave. So whatever artifacts are here in the text feel like they can't be here in the photograph. I imagine like a circular room, like a dodecahedral room with books on the walls, and then like there's a knight in armor on each side of the door, and that's like the whole room basically. Wait, where'd you go?
I went to go ask Dean something. Saw him on the stairs shortly after you left.
Anything interesting, or?
Not really. Just wondering if he had any more of that sleeping medication he gave me a couple nights ago.
It said, Thuck on it. Wait, Dean used a sleeping medication? Didn't know that. I thought he just smoked a lot of weed.
Only sometimes, but they're more, I think he said bear tranquilizers, but I don't know how serious he was being.
Oh yeah, just here's some medicinal ketamine, a through line between this and Arches.
Wait, hold on. Did you two make up about that misunderstanding with Orlando and him being inappropriate? Also, can you fill me in on why it was inappropriate? I'm still trying to piece that out.
I went and apologized. I overreacted. He was very forgiving about it.
I would not be. If I was
very forgiving about it, we smashed immediately.
Oh.
That's what it sounds like he's like implying with his shifty eyes and stuff.
Yeah, parts of him were extremely forgiving. If I was Dean, I would have left. Like, if you get knocked out and your whole friend group just kind of turns around and is like, oh yeah, whatever, that'll teach him a lesson. I'm like, I'm not talking to any of these people again. I'm leaving. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What can I say? Dean's a good guy and easy to get on with. He means well, at least. Although, I get why people would want to smack him upside the head.
Agreed. It was making me uncomfortable with how, forgiving he was.
Sal shrugged before wandering past me to look up at the many books on the shelf he'd stopped in front of.
You'd almost think this was a library with how many books are here.
I mean, you guys decided to call it not a library.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, a room full of books is called a library, just in general. I thought it was a library.
Oh, I could have sworn. Well, never mind then.
It's just going to become a canonical, like, source of debate.
You want to get your phone, right?
Oh, right. What was the name you wanted me to look up again? Hypnos? With a nod from Sal, I pulled my phone out and started searching with that limited reception I seem to be getting. Y'all don't have Wi-Fi?
Yeah, Dave also has the attention span of a squirrel.
Oh,
It's very funny how often he's like, hey, I'm going to go do something. And then literally in the same scene, he's like, oh, I forgot. I don't know, dude.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. My eyes scanned the article with a frown, rereading it before relaying the information to Sal. It says here that Hypnos is a personification of sleep. So I guess the god of sleep? Also, the word hypnosis comes from his name, too.
No, they're completely unrelated words. There's no connection between hypnos and hypnosis.
For a second there, I thought you were being sincere. I'm like, oh, here comes Toaster.
No, I'm completely fucking around.
Like, you can't just come at me like that, Mr. Linguist. You can't just.
I'm sorry. I
have to believe you by default. I flashed Sal a proud grin, but was greeted with a confused, if curious, look in his eye, and kind. All right. What else? Apparently goes by somnus, another language. You won't believe what other words came from that word. Brother to the god of death. Is any of this important? Sal seemed concerned about something. Or maybe he was just thinking something over.
It's not that he's called somnus in another language, it's that the Roman equivalent was somnus.
Yeah.
They are slightly different.
Well, he is just Googling it.
Yes.
What I'm saying is
that
he's getting some AI-generated article that's just a mashup of things that people said on Reddit.
It's true, yeah, exactly.
Remember when you could Google stuff and it would, at least you could get something that was written by someone, and it was probably sourced, so even if you didn't check the sources, it probably was a good faith attempt to explain something. And now it's just like, it's essentially
Does
ChatGPT.
Bruno's Mars is gay? The rumor come out.
Yes, yes. The rumor, what has come out about his bad rumor. It's just this word salad. I'm like, I can't tell if any of this is trustworthy. SEO is the worst. The logical conclusion of SEO has been like the worst thing for the internet as a concept, essentially.
Oh yeah, it's been
like,
awful.
Even before all the AI generated stuff, there was just the bullshit that, like, as a gamer, when you wanted to look up stuff about a video game, there's always like 3 popular websites that just auto generate placeholder pages for every game that pretend to be guides, but then there's nothing there.
Yep.
And then the next level is a quote unquote guide, but it's just them. Like, they just found someone's Let's Play and embedded it, and that occupies the entire page for their quote-unquote guide that they wrote nothing for. And they're like, the extent to which that SEO and internet monetization incentivizes just getting people to click on you by being higher ranked over actually providing the thing people are looking for is just deeply infuriating.
Yeah.
We actively have made our own internet as unusable as possible. I think we should pry, because
We've been patient with him in the past.
He by default won't give us stuff, usually.
Yeah.
Let's be a nosy Nelly. After watching Sal for a while, I cleared my throat. So, should I search for something else? Or is that good? Sal looked at me briefly before sighing.
So, I have some concerns.
Concerns about what? I didn't take you for the religious type. Yes, your religious devotion to Hypnos, who you had to look up.
The Greek god.
That you didn't know about. Not that. Oh.
Not that.
Have you heard about all ice?
Maybe it's better if I show you.
Without warning, Sal left the room, presumably expecting me to follow. Presumably, he said out loud, whatever, as I did, strangely, I did, strangely right into his room, with him closing the door behind us.
So, these dreams.
Am I in them? Oh yeah, I was wondering about that, what that was about. You said there were nightmares, right?
Well, they aren't pleasant. But they probably aren't nightmares, really.
Sal motioned to the bed, before wandering to it and kneeling, waiting for me to get close enough before folding the quilt back. I was about to get in before I noticed him pointing to under the bed. He's just about to just get in bed with Sal. Like, all right, let's go.
They're not nightmares, really, he says, pulling up the sheets to reveal just the most horrible crime scene imaginable underneath the blankets. And Dave is like, "Ooh, yay!"
It's like that scene in 4 Rooms. What a wild movie. Just a strange project to make. I'm just imagining the scene playing out. Like you can just tell how much Dave is just into Sal, where it's like Sal just approaches his bed and pulls back a sheet, and Dave is just like, "Yep, just gonna hop in there, lay down, see what happens." Wait, under the bed? You're not gonna tell me you're scared of monsters in the bed, are you?
No, worse.
There was a hole there. It's gone now. Worse? Oh, bye, music. I was frowning, confused, and looking under the bed before I had put any thought into it. But still, when I looked under, it appeared there was something there.
A jar with Twilight sparkle in it that's been left there. Oh no!
Not this.
Oh,
we just had pizza toaster. You can't do this. We were not explaining that one. Something long that seemed to have a metallic part on top. Oh. What's that? With a sigh, Sal got down further and pulled it out, and I gasped when he did, letting it sit on the floor between us. An axe? What's an axe doing under your bed?
You tell me.
Wait, no. I think we're moving too far away from the original question. What nightmares were you having? I don't know, we could talk about the axe a little bit, although the axe is kind of honestly mundane. Axes exist, you're in the woods. It's not like a bloody axe, fresh after an axe murder happened somewhere in the plot that we need to be looking out for. It's like, I think about how like sometimes people keep some kind of like melee weapon in or under or around their bed, like in case like a break-in happens or stuff like that.
Yeah.
And also just axes exist and people could just lose track of stuff. Sal seemed to contemplate the question for a little bit before turning to me, stern.
So they aren't dreams or nightmares, but more memories. I'll remember going to bed and waking in the same spot, but I'll have memories that make no sense, so they have to be dreams, right?
What sort of memories? Or dreams, I guess?
Well, the first one I had, I remember staring at Orlando in his bed. Nothing else, just watching him sleep.
As a memory. Okay. Well, that's kind of creepy. Don't
And the next
shame.
I just like to watch.
Sorry, the voice makes my throat tickle.
You really made a strong choice.
I did.
And committed to it for what could be 100 hours.
The next one, though, happened not last night, but the night before, I think. I think I was in the museum. I remember looking at the floor a whole bunch, but yesterday morning it would have been. I had the axe next to me in bed.
Any idea where it came from?
Well, it's not mine. But if I had to guess, it would have come from the greenhouse.
Or like the Dean house.
Pog.
You ever Have you ever been to the greenhouse?
Not that I'm aware of.
Just watched it from outside for about a day. What about last night?
Last night I vaguely remember having a conversation with someone in a dark room. Except maybe it wasn't a conversation. Maybe they were talking to me. Woke up in my bed as if nothing had happened.
Like most dreams. That's sort of creepy, but where does hypnos come into play then?
That's the one term I remember from all the dreams. Someone saying it, but I can't place the voice.
I guess we'll try that as the password.
Yeah. Hypnosis, somnambulance. They're all words to try.
Somnium, the AI files.
Yes, exactly.
The first part of any memory or dream like this starts with that name.
So it's your trigger word.
Creepy.
You're like a sleeper agent.
Yeah.
That's the get it, sleeper agent.
Yeah, sleep with me, agent.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe the medication will help, but even that's a gamble.
Gamble how? Isn't medication supposed to be a good thing?
I think so. It's always been hit or miss for me. Not that I ever really get sick. Most I get is maybe congestion when there's too much pollen. Put it down to my parents being very insistent that I get all sorts of medical shots.
I was raised in a lab for the first 18 years of my life. I hulk out sometimes.
This is why I don't know what food is.
That's where I gained the power to just unhinge my jaw and swallow people whole. Mom was like that too, I think. Though it was more just making sure I had my shots on time rather than going out of their way to get any special treatment.
Be thankful. Not happy memories of that, but it's in the past.
Just imagining kids in this universe having collars that like tell you whether or not they're up to date with all those shots and stuff.
Yeah.
We sat in silence for a bit longer without making eye contact. If anything, my eyes are still drawn to the axe sitting between us. So many questions running through my head as to how it'd come to be in Sal's bed, but for now, it'd be a mystery unsolved.
We should go put this axe back in the greenhouse. Just looking at it is making me feel uncomfortable.
I feel like you should put the axe in like a tool shed, not a place that we're like, I just don't imagine it's from the greenhouse because how is it useful in a greenhouse? Imagine like a two-handed like fire.
You're not growing trees in a greenhouse. You're growing small potted plants.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if a greenhouse is big enough, you can fit like trees and stuff in there. But my point is, I don't think this is one of those.
Right. Given he already said his feelings on it, I took it upon myself to pick it up. Well, I wasn't expecting how heavy it was, opting to let most of the weight rest on my shoulder. Are axes normally this heavy?
I don't know. Ask Dean, maybe.
Who knows? The greenhouse. We haven't been here for a while. Yeah, so I like that because it's building intrigue, because that's clearly setting something up. Like, seemingly, Sal is entering a different state of consciousness at night and wandering around with an axe, which could have been a sound that we heard at night or something. Although Tyson never encounters him, seemingly. Or maybe he has, it just doesn't bring it up. Tyson's not that observant. He didn't know that. He didn't realize that every single meal has been made by Orlando somehow. Yeah. Admittedly, it's because they're all excluding him, but he also just had some point. He had some witness evidence of his own that he could have put together there. But this is setting something up. Like, so now, for the first time, kind of. Yeah, not even kind of. Just for the first time ever, I think. The repeated hints about there being sleeping problems of some kind are reinforced by, like, oh, okay, we should think about this and be concerned about this, because, like, there's actually something happening. Like, we haven't had, like, necessarily a nightmare or a vision or something, but somebody is actually doing creepy behaviors while sleepwalking. And so now this is cluing into the idea that, like, okay, they're not just bringing up sleep problems for no reason. We wandered downstairs and outside to the greenhouse. It was quiet, and as far as I could tell, Dean wasn't here. Like I was half expecting him to be. I left the axe on a nearby bench and wandered over to where Sal had ended up, looking at the plants.
It's nice in here. Nicer than I thought.
Maybe you should talk to Dean about it if it interests you. Maybe he's into something you like, and you can bond over that. You like wrestling, right?
I'm good at it. Don't know if I want to make it a career, though.
What do you think you'll end up doing?
Dunno. You?
Oh, that was a statement. That wasn't a question, that was a statement.
I mean, it ends with a question mark.
No, I'm making a joke. I'm saying he's gonna do Dave.
Oh. I thought you were just correcting the grammar again.
No.
I hadn't really thought about it either. Might do what Dad did. Might open my own coffee shop. It seems to be my entire personality. I have a feeling I have time. I feel I have time to decide. What about a lifeguard or something? For you, I mean. You like the water.
Now I do, yeah.
Do you have a traumatic past with water? You didn't always?
Hydrophobia.
What?
No, this is just only now being introduced.
That's a surprise.
Surprising.
It's hard to drown a crocodile, but it's possible.
So was he still hydrophobic when he was hiding from the water and like not wanting to walk out into the rain? But didn't we also hear that Sal likes to just stand in the rain?
Yeah.
Was that
maybe
like exposure therapy? Or maybe it's only bodies of water.
I don't really want to talk about this.
Water killed my dad. Oh, sorry. I didn't know.
I know. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I would never have guessed though. See that, Dave? That's Cat's talking about it. Look, we're talking about it now.
Overcoming fear is possible, but it takes a lot of work. What works for me is if you normalize it, then it's not so scary.
I tried to think of something that scared me, but nothing was immediately coming to mind. Well,
that's relatable.
Outside of horrible things that anyone would be scared of, there wasn't anything I could think of that I could try and normalize, as Sal put it. Normalize being tied to a table while a laser slowly approaches.
Normalize being sawed in half by a Bond villain.
Well, hey, that just makes you all the more impressive, right?
What?
Like, I don't know. I don't think a lot of people would be capable of doing something like that. Orlando's been scared of anything vaguely occult for years, despite how much Roswell brings it up, so the fact that you overcame it seems impressive. To me, at least.
You're impressive, too.
Who, me?
Yep.
Why? Sal just shrugged, wandering over to the door of the greenhouse.
Just a feeling I have about you.
I followed Sal back to the mansion before he stopped, considering something based on the way he was looking at the sky. Oh, okay, I figured it out. I figured out what the sentence is doing. I followed Sal back to the mansion before he stopped, considering something based on the way he was looking at the sky. What's up, Sal? Not literally. Well, I mean, yes, literally, if he's looking at it. Maybe he's looking at it.
Feel like doing anything?
Well... These are all wrong answers. No. I'm happy to just keep talking about stuff if you are.
Okay.
Or we don't have to?
No, not that. Talking is fine. There was something I wanted to talk to you about anyway.
It's just hard to keep up this voice for a long time. Like he's also putting it on.
Dining room. That work?
Sure, lead the way. We'll just spend most of the game here. When we got to the dining room, Sal motioned for me to sit, and then continued on into the kitchen. After how this morning went, I was unsure if I should leave him unsupervised in there, but he emerged soon after with a couple of glasses and a pitcher of water. We sat at the corner of the table, and so we were sort of facing one another, but Sal didn't seem all that keen on talking despite us getting here. I poured us some water while I waited for him to start, but the longer I waited, the more I reasoned that he wanted me to start the conversation off. So, what'd you want to talk about? Dave, this was your idea. CG!
Hey, look at that.
He's huge and T-Rex-like. He's like a giant, goofy dinosaur man. And then you got this toaster core hyena over here.
You say toaster core? That's our son you're talking about. How dare you?
For those that haven't been seeing it, people have been pretty sure that that Marrow and Toaster did the horizontal fusion dance to make this character, because he looks like a midpoint between several elements of both of our characters. Although what really primes the idea for a lot of people, I think, is you have the protruding underbite fangs and you have the orange hoodie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like it is striking. In particular, because the particular way, like something that stands out a little bit is that the hyenas always have some kind of mask, but I think above all, the most common way that the hyena mask is conveyed is via like a ton of, like, whether it be a brown hyena or a striped hyena or a spotted hyena, a huge percentage of them are drawn to have like a black muzzle. And it kind of just fades out halfway through, which doesn't look like most hyenas. It usually at least reaches their eyes, but sometimes it can go past, and the drawings are all over the place in how it's interpreted. My character, it goes like up past his eyes and stuff. But this character in particular has just an eye mask and nothing on the main part of his muzzle, which is also how a raccoon mask works. So there's like several things that really fuse the two species together. I feel like it's not implausible that he'd be revealed to be not a striped hyena, but like a hyena raccoon hybrid, because of the part where he's shaped like a hyena but almost has like raccoon markings. But you know, artistic liberties, you can make up whatever OCs you want. I've seen sparkle dogs. This is nothing.
I'm worried about you, Dave.
Is this is this now an intervention? I thought it was my idea to talk. Everyone sit down with a glass of water. We're all here because we love you. You're worried about me?
In a sense. You're so innocent. Or at least that's what I think.
Or I'm 19.
Yeah.
You're
naive.
You're weirdly innocent and naive for a 25-year-old or whatever. Maybe it was how I tilted my head out of habit that made Sal smirk right after he said that, but he continued on all the same.
I wonder if you're picking up on all the cues the others are sending you.
They're all trying to jump your bones. Cues about what?
About liking you more than a friend.
What, like Dean? No one's really put forward any interest aside from him, have they?
Dude, Tyson literally was like, "You want to smell my musky pits, uwu?
Yeah,
you sure would like my friggin' pole." Like, fuck you, what? Like, they're all horny, dude.
Like, it varies, but yeah, Tyson very obviously, bully flirts with you, and Dean very obviously already sees him as a romantic rival to the point where we can tell that despite only seeing the story from your perspective.
Yeah.
That got me thinking, and I was now analyzing anything that came to mind to see if I'd missed something. This just makes me think about, there's a recurring topic a bit, but like with Leo and Echo, there's that scene where he distracts by bringing up ice cream, and the other scene with the pinball machine. And in both cases, I've seen people completely miss any of, like, you can't even really call it subtext. It's just the text. Like, it's the point of those scenes and what he's doing and what you're supposed to take away from moments like that. And I'm like, oh, those people are old Dave. You have to literally sit down and explain to him what a scene meant, because otherwise he's not going to pick up on any of the social cues about that are relatively blunt, and the whole point is to directly communicate to the audience what to think. But doing that without just explicitly saying, like a tutorial, what you're supposed to think often means people just don't.
Yeah.
It's just a feeling. I get the impression Roswell might like you in that way. Maybe Tyson.
I feel my cheeks go red, or as red as they'd go under my fur. They're just friends. Really good friends, aren't they?
Are they? Dean's the most forward, sure, but...
Sal shrugged, drinking from his own glass and looking off to the side. Meanwhile, I was feeling incredibly flattered that I was potentially more desirable than I gave myself credit for.
Inexplicably so, almost as if you're the protagonist.
Like some kind of visual novel protagonist.
Liking someone is just an extension of that.
Oh, do you have any advice?
When I had my first crush, I didn't know it was one at first, but ignoring it made it a lot worse.
And also people not picking up on social cues. Sal, why do you think we keep picking you?
Enough that I didn't voice it the next time it happened or the time after.
Sal shook his head, grumbling.
Maybe just remember that there are people that care about you is all. We all care about someone, but sometimes too afraid to tell them. Not even loving someone, but just caring for someone in the nicest way. But telling someone you love them is harder, again.
Oh. If it wasn't for the steely gaze that Sal was giving me, I would have almost asked if there was something he wasn't telling me.
Yes, there is something he is not telling you.
I killed Roswell with an axe. It was a
if only he
memory.
would save me. If only he would save me from that little monster. I killed the mastermind, Dave. I did it. I did it with an axe in a dream. And I don't feel bad about it, Dave. I feel good. It makes me feel like we are safer now.
Sal had always been hard to read, but there was something about how he was phrasing it just then. Something that seemed to be pushing towards this being something more than of a confession than just life advice.
Really? Something? Is it possible that we're sliding into a route now? Is that what's going on?
What about you, Sal?
Me.
Yeah, do you like me more than just a friend? I didn't believe I just asked him so bluntly. I could have sworn my heart stopped beating as Sal looked me over, and my throat started to feel dry. My eyes...
I want to smash this crocodile, but like I have to interrupt to say, like, I'm putting the money down. If he responds like, "No, Dave, that's not what I was going for. I have no feelings for you at all," I would truly give this game my lunch money. Like, I would be like, "Here you go. You deserve it. It's yours now." Like, that would just be the greatest swerve of all time.
He's just like, Dave, no, you're like 19.
Yeah, Dave, you completely misread this situation. That is absolutely not what I'm saying. In fact, I have less than 0 interest in you.
I'm not even gay.
Yeah. I have absolutely 0 interest in other men.
My eyes. I'm actually aromantic, asexual. My eyes flicking to the glass of water in front of me.
Are you sure you want me to answer that? If you really want me to, then I will, but...
Sal trailed off, now not wanting to look at me, and I sank into my chair. Do I want the answer? Yeah! After a brief pause, I noted. After all, it seemed that he was prompting me to ask in a way. Or at the very least, he was going to reply in the affirmative. I think so. Yeah. Couldn't hurt. But the sigh immediately following made me regret my decision.
I don't.
Yes! Yes! Sal, this is great. I love this.
Yes.
Immediate respect increased for this character. I like him so much more now.
You're just a friend. Sorry.
I let the reply hang in the air for a little bit, mulling over what he just said. Maybe I just overthought the situation, was expecting something different? Did I like Sal in that way without realizing it? What I did pick up on was the longer the silence went, the more Sal looked uncomfortable trying to keep his eyes elsewhere. For what it's worth, I'm sorry too.
It's fine.
It didn't sound, or seem fine, with Sal's tone, and how he got up from the table soon after, heading towards the door.
I'm gonna go lay down for a bit. I'll see you later.
I wonder what happens if we say no. Does, like, the scene just continue?
We just keep wondering forever.
Yeah.
And with that, he was gone. I sat in my chair for a bit longer before getting myself up, unsure of how Sal was really feeling. Maybe he was just tired. Or maybe he wants me to follow him to his bedroom. It's just like completely, just massively misreading things continually.
This just makes me happy because it means that I, as in Toaster, have less competition with Dave when it comes to Sal's affections.
Yeah. Something told me that wasn't the case, and that instead it upset him in some way. Maybe. But, I feel committed to just seeing the story through to the end, because if we go back and change choices, it'll just get confusing what timeline we're still in, basically.
Yeah, for sure. No, I wasn't suggesting we go back. I'm curious I'm curious. So something that the game has been doing so far is doing these like choices where it still like loops back into like a central narrative, kind of like what you were talking about earlier when you were like, we all inexplicably keep ending up back in the kitchen. Like it kind of seems like some of the scenes are just flavor text and then other scenes are actual route branches. So I'm wondering if this is an actual route branch or if it's just like either way, he doesn't like you. So he just doesn't want to be a jerk and doesn't want to say it out loud.
Yeah. But either way, we have our answers now. This will be a very different route then, potentially. Just gonna hang out with my bro that can tank some hits for me when things start happening.
Sal is so great. I'm really glad that this is the way that this played out.
Yeah.